Hey everybody, how's it going this afternoon? This is going to be your second homework video, and this one is on prokaryotic cells versus eukaryotic cells. So on Wednesday you guys will be taking a closer look at these two types of cells, and tomorrow you'll be learning how to use all the different types of microscopes that I have. So this way you can really use them to explore and take pictures and stuff like that of everything that you see. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, prokaryotic cells. So this is an example of a very basic prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are considered to be the oldest life forms on Earth, alright, evolving around 3.5 billion years ago. Yeah, so they are extremely old. Earth is about 4.5 billion, 4.6 billion years old. Prokaryotic cells formed right around 3.5 billion. There are two main types of organisms that are considered to be prokaryotic. Alright, you guys cultured some today. Those are bacteria. Okay, they're prokaryotic cells. And also something called archaea. Okay, archaea are also prokaryotic cells. Archaea just means ancient bacteria. Alright, so these guys were the first life forms on Earth. Okay, they're considered to be extremophiles. Alright, and extremophiles just like extreme environments. Alright, so they like it really hot, really salty, full of methane. Alright, so they're extremophiles. They have a special type of protective coating that allows them to live in these extreme environments, whereas normal bacteria don't have that special adaptation. So archaea are ancient bacteria. Extremophiles, they like extreme environments, whether it be heat or cold or salt or methane. Bacteria are what you guys are more familiar with and what you cultured today in class, or Monday in class, depending on if you're watching this on Monday or Tuesday. Alright, so because they're older, prokaryotic cells are much more simple, and they're also smaller than eukaryotic cells. Okay, they don't have as many things called organelles. Alright, we'll get into organelles later this week as well. Organelles are just tiny organs. One type of organelle is a nucleus that prokaryotic cells do not have. However, because it's a living thing, prokaryotic cells do still contain DNA, even though they don't have a nucleus to hold it. Alright, so that's pretty much all the information you really need to know about prokaryotic cells. We'll explore prokaryotic cells in a little bit more detail come Wednesday. So moving on to eukaryotic cells, these are what two examples of eukaryotic cells look like. So if you put the two together and you see prokaryotic cells and then you see the eukaryotic cells, you can see that the eukaryotic cells really are much more complex. Eukaryotic cells first appeared about 2 billion years after prokaryotic cells, so roughly 1.5 billion years ago. Alright, and it said that they think eukaryotic cells evolved by one prokaryotic cell engulfing the another prokaryotic cell, and then that engulfed prokaryotic cell ended up becoming a nucleus. So it was kind of like a bigger prokaryotic cell ate the smaller prokaryotic cell, and this became the nucleus. Alright, so we consider both plant and animal cells to be eukaryotic, and protists and fungi are also eukaryotic cells. Protists are single-celled organisms, and we'll get into those guys towards the end of this unit. You guys will be able to see them, but protists basically live in water and ponds, and they're single-celled, and they are pretty cool, and you'll get to see them through the microscopes as well later this in this unit. Alright, and because they evolved more recently, alright, eukaryotic cells are definitely larger than prokaryotic cells, and they are more complex. Okay, by being more complex, they have many organelles. Okay, and I had mentioned that they do have a nucleus, and they also have DNA, just like prokaryotic cells, because again, eukaryotic cells are living, and all living things have to have DNA. So So the purpose of the nucleus in eukaryotic cells, the nucleus contains the DNA, whereas in prokaryotic cells, the DNA is just kind of floating around inside the cell. Alright, and then finally, when you look at both cells, okay, I mentioned that they both contain DNA. Okay, they also both have something called a cell membrane that surrounds the cell. And they also have organelles called ribosomes. Okay, ribosomes are really important. We'll get into that again later this unit, and then we'll revisit them again in the genetics unit. But the ribosomes just make protein, and protein's a really important macromolecule in your body. And yeah, it controls a lot of different processes. So that's all for today. Another relatively short one. So tomorrow we're going to be looking at all the different microscopes. You'll be trying them out, learning how to hook them up, learning how to look at things and take pictures and videos and put them into different apps and collages to create something. And then on Wednesday we're going to look at eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells by looking at the bacteria that you're growing, as well as plant and animal cells. Alright guys, hope you all have a great afternoon, and I'll see you later. Bye.